hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk about how do we make our amazing bodies into powerful healing machines. Today in today's world, we're constantly influenced, or we're constantly motivated, or we're constantly sold a marketing idea of what we need to do to add to our health. Eat the superfood for your hair, eat the superfood for your heart. It may be a healthy food. It may be good for you, but is it necessary? The point is, we have an amazing machine. And if we are able to harness the intelligence of our own body, guess what? Every human being is born with an intelligence within. Some people are born with a compromised intelligence, if there's a disability or some portion of the brain isn't developed and all of that stuff. But for everyone else, we have an intelligence right now in us. What is that intelligence doing? Trying to keep us alive. While you're sleeping, that intelligence is trying to keep you alive. While you're arguing with someone, while you're meditating, while you're cycling, you're running, you're jogging, your intelligence is trying to keep you alive. And we forget that intelligence is working for us every second of the day and night. The point I want to discuss today are two simple ways to maintain or to stimulate a powerful healing mechanism in the human body. And it's not because Luke's saying it. It's how the human body works. It's based on science. Okay? We have these two nervous systems within us. I've spoken about it many times, but today I want to inspire you to understand that you should be using them for your own benefit. Whether you're looking at prevention, whether you're currently struggling with a disease and you're looking at recovering, or you want to age gracefully. You want to age at the right time. You don't want to be 50, but you're actually 70. You don't want to be 30 years old, but you're actually, you feel like 30, okay? You want to feel like 30 when you're 30. You don't want to feel like you're 50 when you're 30, because everyone's aging too rapidly. So there's the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. We need both of them. Both of them are essential to survival. They're essential to prevention, recovery, and everything. In the sympathetic nervous system, that's known as your fight and flight response. Your body moves you into that system to protect you, to help you to survive, to help you to thrive. But you cannot be in that system for a long period of time. When I'm in the sympathetic nervous system, it's because there is some stress in my life. Physical stress, a thought, a feeling, something that someone said can move me into the sympathetic nervous system because it stresses me out. A thought can raise my cortisol and adrenaline levels, which is my stress hormones. That puts me into the sympathetic nervous system. So can a tiger, a lion, a snake, a scorpion, a speeding car, someone who's violent, someone who's shouting at me. All of these are threats. These threats can be at different degrees of intensity, but they will raise cortisol and adrenaline. And because they raise cortisol and adrenaline, the body shifts into the sympathetic nervous system for our own survival. It's preparing us to fight, or it's preparing us to flee. And that's why it's called a flight and fight response. Now, in this system, which is good for us because it's designed to protect us, my heart rate goes up, my pulse rate goes up, my blood pressure goes up, my blood sugar levels go up, digestion slows down because we're not meant to be digesting food when we're in the sympathetic nervous system. Blood flow from my brain starts to move towards my muscles to prepare me to fight or flee. That's what's happening. Whether the stress is a lion or whether the stress is a negative thought, the same thing is happening. So you may think that I don't have physical stress, but you have a lot of mental stress. Negativity, resentment, guilt, unforgiveness, anger, hatred, fear, chronic anxiety. It is still doing the same thing in your body. It does not matter what the degree of the threat is. If you feel threatened, your body is going to put you in the sympathetic nervous system. Now, for the right reasons, let's assume we're in the sympathetic nervous system. So my body's pressure, blood sugar level, everything's high. It's the way it's supposed to be, so I get that adrenaline, that energy to fight the enemy, to flee, to run away from the threat. But what happens when it's a thought? Or it's a fight that you've had with your partner or your spouse or your boss, or you read something that's negative, or you're feeling negative, or you're thinking negative. The same thing happens, but we don't fight or we don't flee. We're sedentary, sitting in one place, dealing with our thoughts, complaining, blaming, being stuck in victim mode. But my pressure's up, my blood sugar levels are up, my digestion is not working. Now further, I'm in the sympathetic nervous system and I decide to eat a meal. But we all know that digestion isn't efficient when I'm stressed out. So now I eat a meal. My body still to survive will break down the meal and digest it, but with much difficulty, with much stress and burden on my pancreas, on my insulin, on my digestive enzymes, on my microbiome, because I'm not meant to eat when I'm in the sympathetic nervous system. So that's one system, the sympathetic nervous system. In this system, the body doesn't know how to repair, it doesn't know how to grow, it doesn't know how to rejuvenate. It cannot perform these functions when you're in the sympathetic nervous system. Your immune system, everything is on alert, but it doesn't have the ability to repair, growth, rejuvenation, balance is going to happen when I move into my next nervous system, which is the parasympathetic nervous system, which is also known as rest and digest, grow and repair. When I'm in the parasympathetic nervous system, my adrenaline and my cortisol levels are low. That's how I'm in the parasympathetic nervous system. Everything is hormones. Hormones are chemical messengers. So it's your cortisol and adrenaline that signals to the body, fight and flight, or rest and digest. So now my cortisol and my adrenaline are low. I'm in the parasympathetic nervous system. Now what happens in the parasympathetic nervous system? I'm able to rest. I'm able to relax. I'm able to sleep. I'm able to digest efficiently. Now I'm also able to repair, grow, rejuvenate. My immune system now relaxes. It starts looking out what needs to fix in the human body, which it cannot do when you're in the sympathetic nervous system. And that is why the more time we spend in the sympathetic nervous system, the more sickness we have, the more inflammation we have, the weaker our immune system, the weaker our digestive system, our hair gets compromised, our skin gets compromised, our energy levels, we have autoimmune conditions because constantly your immune system is on alert. It doesn't know how to relax. But when I move to the parasympathetic nervous system, I can relax. I have a deadly disease, hypothetically, okay? I've got the news, I'm in shock, I'm getting the treatment, but now I gotta relax in order for the healing to happen, in order for the medicine to work better, in order for the repair to happen, the growth to happen, the inflammation to come down. So right now, I can create a powerful healing machine of my amazing body by learning and by being aware of how I can move from the sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system, and how I should reduce my time spent in the sympathetic nervous system and spend more time in the parasympathetic nervous system, because that's when my body's going to work for me, not against me. The sympathetic nervous system is great for survival, but we cannot be in it for too long. But I am in it for too long because I wake up hypothetically. I wake up with problems, I sleep with problems, all the time I'm hearing negative things being said about me, my past is controlling me, my emotional baggage is weighing me down, I'm constantly trying to control a future which I have no control over. I'm in the sympathetic nervous system for more than I should be. And I've compromised all the recovery and the healing processes of the human body. Because no matter who you are, it cannot happen if you're in the wrong system. So now by slowing down my breath, by involving myself in exercise, yoga, gentle exercise, yoga. If I'm in intensive workouts, that's good, but am I also making more time for recovery? By eating healthy foods that calm me down, adaptogens, L-theanines, all of these things, the right amino acids that help me relax, that help me recover. I'm sleeping well. The more time I spend in sleep, the more I'm in the parasympathetic nervous system. I'm learning to let go. I'm learning to accept. I'm learning to forgive, because all of that keeps me in the parasympathetic nervous system. Most people today are sick and are getting cancer and lifestyle diseases. No matter what the world tells you, 5 to 6% of diseases are highly genetic. The balance 94% is caused by chronic stress, period. Whether you have PCOS, you have cancer, you have diabetes, you have Alzheimer's, there is stress playing a major role, if not the contributing role alone. It is playing a role, period. Medical science is showing that to us today. So we can pretend that stress is something that everyone has and that we got to deal with it, or we can do something about it. Because your chronic stress, not little stress, not a little bit of stress. That's good for us. Your chronic stress is the reason why you are sick today, is the reason why you have a hormonal imbalance, is the reason why you're constantly looking out to please people and feel happy and look for external validation, because you feel so low about yourself that you need the world, you need social media, you need people to remind you and say good things to you to make you feel good. These are all signs. Every human being loves appreciation. I love appreciation. When I get appreciation, I want to do more. When people appreciate me, when they send me love, they send me blessings, I want to do more for them because it's a nice feeling. I want more of that feeling. But when I'm chasing these things because I want to feel good about myself, because my life is empty, because I have low self-worth, I have low self-confidence, I've equated success of myself with how much money I have in the bank, how thin I am, whether I have a six-pack, whether I have a size 0 figure. I'm miserable all the time. I'm all the time miserable because you need people to constantly tell you how good you look, how rich you are, and all of that, but yet you feel empty. So my point is, stress, chronic stress, is the #1 cause of everything going wrong today. We have spiritual leaders who are sick, and we would think, oh, they meditate, they shouldn't be stressed, but they are stressed. That's why a lot of them are so deeply into their meditation, because it's helped them come out of stress. So you see, we can decide to become puppets to society and just say, oh, everyone has stress. It's a stressful world. Let's smoke another joint. Let's drink more alcohol. Let's have some mindless sex. Let's do something else. You can do that to feel better for a little while. But it doesn't change the fact that you're still chronically stressed, right? Or we can address the root cause of the problem and understand that stress is making us sick. It's making us fat. It's making us underweight. It's making us lose our hair, our skin. It's bringing on autoimmune conditions. It's bringing on cancers. It's bringing on everything. Science and medicine doesn't have the explanation of why today, with so much of technology, medicine, doctors, nutritionists, everything, why are people getting sicker and sicker? Why is cancer getting more rampant? Why is diabetes getting more rampant? It should be the opposite, right? Because we have so much. Why? Because no one is willing to say that chronic stress is the root cause. It's not because Luke's saying it, it's simple science and anatomy. When my body's in harmony and homeostasis, everything's working for you. When I'm out of homeostasis and in disharmony, everything, including your body, is working against you. No amount of metformins, chemotherapy, drugs, shampoos for your hair, steroids, all of that stuff can make you better permanently unless you create the environment within you to support healing and recovery. And today you understand by oscillating between sympathetic and parasympathetic. So my goal is, yes, life is going to have a lot of stress for me, but I get to choose how much of time I'm going to spend in that sympathetic nervous system. How much of it is worth it? How much of it is worth it for my health? Because the more I'm in the parasympathetic nervous system, the longer I'm going to live, the more quality life I'm going to live, the better chances I have to heal and recover from a disease and even prevent. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care is all about you.